There is a number the fitness industry does not advertise, and it is this. The average gym is counting on you not coming in, not occasionally skipping a week, but essentially disappearing after the first few months while your card keeps getting charged every single cycle. Industry estimates suggest the majority of gym members visit only a handful of times a year, sometimes barely at all, and yet the gym keeps collecting the same monthly fee regardless. That is not a flaw in the business model. That is the business model. Walk into any gym in January and you will see it stretched thin. Treadmills full, parking lot packed, staff scrambling to keep towels stocked. Walk into that same gym in March and it is a different building entirely. Half empty, echoing, plenty of open equipment. The gym did not lose those members, it is still charging almost all of them. They just stopped showing up and the gym is thrilled about it. Most people assume a gym makes its money by being useful to you, by getting you stronger, by keeping the equipment running and the classes full. That assumption feels obvious, and it is almost completely backwards. A gym filled with people who actually show up every day is, from a pure business standpoint, a nightmare. More people on the treadmills means more wear. More staff needed, more towels washed, more parking spots fought over. The gym's ideal customer is someone who pays consistently and appears rarely. And the entire pricing structure, the contracts, the cancellation process, all of it is quietly built around encouraging exactly that outcome. But that's only part of the story. Understanding how gyms actually make their money matters, because almost everyone reading this has either paid for a membership they barely used or knows someone who has. It is one of the most common, most quietly accepted financial habits people carry for years without ever questioning it. Most people misunderstand the gym business because they assume it works like a restaurant. More customers using the service more often equals more revenue. Fitness works almost in reverse, and once you see why, you will never look at a gym membership form the same way again. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how gyms price memberships to profit from absence rather than attendance, why the industry has quietly split into two completely different business models, how much money actually comes from things that have nothing to do with working out, and why canceling a membership is often deliberately more difficult than signing up for one. You will walk away seeing the fine print on that contract very differently. To understand all of that, we first need to understand the basic math that makes this entire industry work in the first place. The foundation of the gym business is something the industry itself sometimes calls the breakage model, though you will rarely hear a salesperson use that phrase while signing you up. Here's the simple version. A gym sells far more memberships than its physical space could ever handle if everyone showed up at once. A location built to comfortably fit 300 people working out at the same time might sell 3,000 memberships or more. Because the gym is betting correctly that the vast majority of those members will never all show up together. Think about it like an airline overbooking a flight, except instead of occasionally bumping a passenger, the gym is counting on most of its passengers never boarding the plane at all, month after month, while still paying for their seat. A monthly membership might cost $20 or $30. If a member attends 4 times a month, that works out to roughly $7 a visit, a reasonable value. But if that same member attends once every 2 months, the effective cost per visit becomes closer to $60, and the gym has spent almost nothing extra to earn that money, because an absent member uses no equipment, needs no towel, and takes up no space. So here is the uncomfortable question worth sitting with. If a gym profits more from members who do not show up than from members who do, what does that tell you about who the pricing, the marketing, and the entire sign-up experience is actually designed to attract? The honest answer is that low-cost, high-volume gyms are built almost entirely around attracting people who intend to go regularly, but statistically will not. And the business model only works because of exactly that gap between intention and behavior. This brings us to how the industry actually splits behind the scenes, because not every gym is playing the same game, and understanding the difference reveals the real mechanics of the business. There are, broadly speaking, 2 very different businesses hiding under the word gym. The first is the low-cost, high-volume model, often charging $10 to $30 a month, built almost entirely on the breakage math we just walked through. These gyms genuinely do not want everyone showing up at once, and their marketing, cheerful, welcoming, low pressure, is specifically designed to attract casual, well-intentioned people, rather than serious athletes who will show up daily and wear down the equipment. The second model is the premium or boutique gym, charging anywhere from $100 to several $100s a month, and this one works on almost the opposite logic. These gyms want you showing up constantly, because their real profit does not come primarily from the membership fee itself. It comes from everything wrapped around it. Personal training sessions, often priced between $50 and $150 an hour, carry enormous profit margins, because the trainer is frequently paid a small fraction of what the client is charged, with the gym pocketing the difference. Group fitness classes, often included in membership, but sometimes charge separately. Keep members engaged and less likely to cancel, because canceling now means giving up a social routine, not just a piece of equipment. Supplement sales, branded apparel, smoothie bars, and locker rentals all stack additional revenue on top of the base membership, often with markups far steeper than anything you would tolerate at a regular retail store. And here's where the picture gets genuinely surprising. For a significant number of gyms, especially larger chains, real estate itself is part of the business model. Some major fitness chains have historically owned or held long-term leases on their buildings, meaning the property value alone can appreciate over time regardless of how many members actually walk through the door. In a few notable cases, gym chains have generated meaningful profit from real estate transactions even during periods when their core membership business was struggling. So when you ask how a gym makes money, the honest answer increasingly is that working out is almost a side effect. The membership fee, the personal training upsell, the supplement counter, the property underneath the building, all of it works together, and very little of it depends on you actually getting fit. Now let's look at what happens on the customer side of this equation, because there is a hidden psychological layer here that most people never notice until they are the ones stuck in it. The hidden side of the gym business is not really about the workout equipment at all. It is about behavioral economics, and specifically about a pattern researchers have documented for years, sometimes called present bias, where people consistently overestimate how motivated their future self will be. Standing at the front desk in January, signing a contract, almost everyone genuinely believes they will attend 3 or 4 times a week for the entire year. That belief is not dishonest. It is simply how human motivation works, strongest in the moment of decision, weakest weeks later when the couch feels more appealing than the parking lot. Gyms understand this pattern extremely well, arguably better than the members themselves do, and the entire sign-up experience is quietly engineered around it. Annual contracts are priced to look far more attractive than month-to-month options, encouraging a long-term commitment based on a burst of motivation that statistically fades within a matter of weeks for most people. Cancellation policies, meanwhile, tend to be considerably more complicated than sign-up, sometimes requiring a written letter, an in-person visit, or a mailed notice, specifically because friction at the exit door keeps revenue flowing long after motivation has quietly disappeared. This is not a uniquely predatory industry trick. Subscription businesses across many categories use similar friction, but gyms are a particularly clear example because the underlying product, physical fitness, has such an enormous, well-documented gap between what people intend to do and what they actually sustain over time. The industry did not invent human procrastination. It simply built an extremely profitable business on top of it. Let's walk through exactly how this looks with real numbers, because the abstract version of this story is easy to nod along to, but the specific version is where it actually clicks. Imagine a gym charges $25 a month and has 3,000 active memberships. That alone generates $75,000 in monthly revenue, or $900,000 a year, from membership fees alone. Now factor in the breakage effect. If the gym is realistically built to handle around 400 people working out comfortably at any given time, and industry data suggests a large share of members attend only occasionally, the gym is essentially collecting full price from thousands of people while running the physical operation, as though only a few hundred were ever really using it day to day. The third mistake is underestimating how much friction exists at the cancellation stage, assuming that leaving will be as easy as joining. Many people continue paying for months, sometimes over a year, simply because canceling required more effort than they anticipated, and life kept getting in the way of that one phone call or written letter. And the fourth mistake is treating the free trial personal training session as a purely educational experience rather than what it usually is, a carefully structured sales conversation designed to convert a member into a much higher spending customer. There is a fifth mistake worth naming, one that has less to do with money and more to do with identity. Many people buy a membership as a way of buying the version of themselves they hope to become. Someone disciplined, someone consistent, someone who simply shows up. That hope is not foolish, but it is not the same thing as a plan. Gyms are exceptionally good at selling the feeling of transformation at the exact moment you are most emotionally invested in it, standing in a brand new facility surrounded by people who already look the way you want to look. The membership fee purchases access to a building. It does not purchase the habit itself, and confusing the two is one of the quiet reasons the industry can profit so heavily from absence. Knowing these mistakes is useful, but the real value comes from understanding what people who navigate this industry most effectively tend to do differently. People who get genuine value out of gym memberships tend to be brutally honest with themselves about realistic attendance before signing anything, choosing month-to-month flexibility over a discounted annual rate, unless they already have a proven, sustained habit behind them. They treat the first 30 days as a genuine test period rather than a formality, tracking actual visits rather than intentions, because past behavior predicts future behavior far more reliably than New Year's enthusiasm does. They also separate the emotional high of signing up from the financial decision itself, often waiting a week after that first exciting gym tour before committing to anything longer than a month, specifically to see whether the motivation survives contact with an ordinary Tuesday evening. And they read the cancellation policy before they read the price, because the exit terms often reveal far more about how a gym expects to profit from you than the advertised membership fee ever will. All of this leads to a single, larger realization that ties every piece of the story together. Layer on ancillary revenue. If just 10% of those 3,000 members purchase 4 personal training sessions a year at $75 each, that adds $90,000 annually, much of it high margin, since the trainer might only receive $25 or $30 of that per session. Add a modest smoothie bar or supplement counter generating even a conservative $15,000 a year, plus locker rentals, plus branded merchandise, and the picture becomes clear. The base membership fee that got the customer in the door is often just the entry point into a much larger, much more profitable ecosystem. Now compare this to a boutique studio charging $150 a month with only 300 members. That generates $540,000 a year from membership alone, a fraction of the low-cost gym's raw member count, but at a completely different margin structure, because boutique studios spend heavily on smaller class sizes and instructor quality, specifically to keep that higher price justified in the customer's mind, betting on retention and premium upsells rather than sheer volume. Two completely different playbooks, both built to be highly profitable, neither one primarily dependent on how many actual workouts get logged inside the building. There is one more piece of this math that rarely gets discussed, and it involves timing rather than pricing. Gyms tend to know almost exactly when cancellations spike, typically clustering in late spring as New Year's motivation fades, and again near the end of summer. Knowing this, many gyms schedule their heaviest marketing pushes, referral bonuses, and discounted sign-up periods for January and September, precisely when a fresh wave of hopeful new members can replace the wave that is quietly walking out the back door. The business does not need every member to stay forever. It simply needs a steady, predictable churn, with new sign-ups consistently replacing the members who fade out. And an entire year's marketing calendar is often built around that replacement cycle rather than around retention. Given all of this, it's worth asking why so many people still misjudge their own gym memberships, and the honest answer involves a handful of very common mistakes. The first mistake is signing an annual contract during a burst of New Year's motivation, without accounting for how motivation typically fades within a matter of weeks. The math only favors the customer if attendance stays consistent, and the gym's own pricing structure is quietly betting against that outcome. The second mistake is assuming a lower monthly price automatically means a better value. A $20 membership used twice a year is a far worse deal than a $50 membership used consistently every week. Yet most people compare gyms purely on the sticker price rather than on realistic expected usage. The gym industry is not really selling fitness. It is selling the feeling of commitment to fitness, packaged into a monthly charge that continues whether or not that commitment survives past February. None of this makes gyms villains in any simple sense. Plenty of people do use their memberships consistently, and for them the value is completely real. Personal trainers do help people reach genuine results, and boutique studios often build real communities that keep people showing up for years. But there is a meaningful difference between a business that profits when you succeed and a business that profits either way. And the modern gym industry has quietly built itself around the second version, engineering pricing, contracts, and cancellation friction around a well-documented gap in human behavior, rather than around actual attendance. The equipment, the mirrors, the motivational posters on the wall, all of it is real. But underneath it sits a spreadsheet that was never really counting on you walking through that door as often as you told yourself you would. You now understand what is actually happening the next time you sign up in January, full of energy, ready to change everything. The gym is not hoping you fail. It genuinely does not need you to succeed either. It simply needs your card to keep getting charged, and statistically, more often than not, that is exactly what happens, long after the treadmill has gone quiet. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more videos about money, investing, economics, business, and wealth building.